Hey guys, Elusive GG here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a spicy one for you guys. I have my undefeated Ochaco 1 Air deck tech video. A few people have asked for this one, so I thought I would gladly share it for the YouTube and the local scene that wants to see this. So essentially, what the deck does is play an attack, get rid of from your card pool, play an attack, get rid of from your card pool, play an attack, get rid of from your card pool, stun grenade for a buttload of damage. So the way the deck works is, for those of you who aren't familiar, Chaco 1 is a 6 hand size 27 health character, which reads response. Once per turn after your charge or high attack resolves, add it to your momentum. And then her enhance is commit her. If you have one or more momentum, your attack gets +3 speed, full stop. You may add 1 momentum to your hand. So an amazing ability to be able to clear your card pool, give a big attack that you want to hit +3 speed, and also be able to add a powerful card you might have hit earlier on or being able to poke through earlier on in the game from your momentum back to your hand for those massive kill turns. Starting off on the deck is the best lead attack in this deck, and it is 4 Ricochet Charge. Ricochet Charge is a 4 to play 2 low block, 2 high for 4 damage, charged punched, which reads, if this is the only attack in your card pool, this attack gains stun 2. Obviously, now leading with this attack, you will always be able to have the stun 2 effect on play. And then the air enhance is this attack. If this attack is not blocked, discard it from your card pool. Now, majority of the time, a lot of people do not want to block this attack. It is a 2 high for 4. It is just a minimum 4 damage stun 2 attack, which isn't really going to be threatening anything lethal to your opponent. If they do not block, fantastic. You can just discard it from your card pool. If they do block, you can always Ochaco response. So add it to your momentum for free, clearing your card pool to be able to string out again or to play whatever you want afterwards. So that's 4 Ricochet Charge. The next attack, which is a big MVP in this deck, is 4-0 Gravity Lift. It's a 5 to play, 3 high block, 3 high attack for 6 damage charged throw, which reads, this attack adds to momentum face up, enhance, it's a momentum enhance, remove 0 Gravity Lift. After your attack resolves, add it to your momentum. Again, this is a fantastic lead attack. If you don't find your Ricochet Charge, or you might have a Ricochet Charge in your momentum already, the fantastic thing is, lead off this, 3 high for 6. It's a throw, so if it would always hit, unless blocked by Walkling or Faith Shields, obviously, but it will always hit, which will be a free momentum. And then if you need to string off as well off this, you can always Ochaco response, add it to your momentum, goes into your momentum face up, and you're going to be able to clear your card pool from multiple other attacks that come in. So that is a 4 of 0 Gravity Lift. The next attack, which is probably one of my favorite cards in the game, is that I really don't want to see, so a Walkling or anything that's going to be able to slow down my turn or be able to block this completely will be the target of that. Now, the next attack is 3 Pillar Swing. This card is pretty sweet in this deck. It's a 6 check. It's a 6 play, 2 low, 3 mid for 8. Charge, slam, stun 2 weapon attack, which reads, if this attack is completely blocked, add it to your momentum. And then the other enhance is the damage of this attack cannot be reduced below printed. Good thing about this card, stun 2. Second great thing about this card, if they fully block it, which it is a very blockable attack being a 3 mid, you add it to your momentum straight away, also clearing your card pool immediately at the same time. Now, one of two finishes in this deck, which is, you've probably guessed it already, 4 Stun Grenade. This card is absolutely insane in this deck. It is by far probably my favorite finisher in this deck. Just being a 4 to play, 4 mid for 4, 2 high block on its own. It's a Fury, powerful 2, stun 1 basic stats, which is first enhance reads. This attack gets +1 to its stun rating for each attack that has left your card pool. Second enhance, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Fury attack revealed this way to your hand. Discard the remaining cards. A lot of the time, we aren't using the second enhance as we're not running a massive amount of Fury cards, but we are running 4 of the stun grenade, 3 airstream driver. So there are cards to fetch with it. So that is nice, but mainly most of the time we aren't using that effect on the card. Unless we're really trying to fish out for another one or an airstream driver to be able to finish off our opponents. The fantastic thing about this card is playing it on the end or start of a string is amazing. So essentially what you would like to do is lead off with a ricochet charge, play it, your opponent blocks, your opponent doesn't block. Either way, it's been discarded from the card pool. That's 1 on this rating already. Then you might play Airstream Driver or Pillar Swing. Pillar Swing on play, it gets blocked. If it's fully blocked, adds some momentum. If it's not blocked, you have a 0 gravity lift in there. You enhance, remove the 0 gravity lift to add it to your momentum regardless. That's 2 cards now leaving your card pool. You then might be able to play a Airstream Driver after that with another 0 gravity lift that's in your card pool. You're looping it, you're discarding cards from your card pool. Now this thing here comes in for a minimum of stun 4 if you got rid of 3 cards in your card pool, which is very, very easy to do in this deck and happens pretty much every time I'm able to play this card. I'm able to have 3 cards leave the card pool every time. So at minimum, this thing is a stun 4 for a 4 low, 4 mid for a 4 attack. We are a momentum heavy deck. We are going to have momentum to be able to trigger this powerful 2. So the other night, I was actually able to go stun grenade, stun 4, come in for powerful 2 once. So a 4 mid for 6. My opponent had to take it. I was able to play a second stun grenade after that. Stun grenade, stun 4 again, powerful 4 cards, and then making this a 4 mid for 12 damage as a finisher. 2 cards on their own was stun 4, which is just amazing. So an amazing, amazing card. Now the last finisher in this deck, which is set 1's probably best finisher that we all know and love, Indiscriminate Shock, $1.3 million votes. This card is amazing. Again, it's a 2 low block, 3 low for 5 damage, stun 1, committed rival foundation. This deck gets +1 damage for each committed rival foundations. Good thing is, with this deck, we are running a lot of stun cards. So, Ricochet Charge, stun 2, Pillar Swing, stun 2, stun grenade, minimum stun 1, but if you're able to clear cards from your card pool, which you are, it'll be a stun 2, 3, 4 at best. And then Indiscriminate Shock as well, which is a stun 1, commit one rival foundation. So, along with those cards on their own, you've committed 10 of your opponent's rivals foundations, not including whatever else they've committed to be able to pass blocks with checks. So this is coming in at best or at minimum a 3 low for 10 if you're able to string out those attacks that I just said, which is an amazing finisher. So that wraps up our 21 attacks that we have in the deck. Now onto our foundations. We are running 39 foundations in this deck. So it is a slim deck. It's a 64 card deck. Now off our foundations for this deck, we have 2 copies of Shadow Aid. It's a 3 on play, 3 mid block for a 4 check, which reads enhance your attack. Commit this card. Add one card from your momentum to your hand. You may ready 1 foundation. A lot of the time, the readying your Rival's Foundation essentially means nothing. So the good thing about this card is you commit this, you're adding a. If it is a indiscriminate shock, 1.3 million volts, stun 1. If it is a pillar swing, it is a stun 2. If it's a stun grenade, it is a stun 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever you've been able to loop for that turn. So you're readying 1 foundation, but they're going to have to commit or stun that one anyway with your attack that you've added back to your hand. So you're just adding a free momentum to your hand at the cost of 1 Rival Foundation, which at that point means nothing with your stun attacks in your hand. So that is a 2 of Shadow's Aid. Then we have 4 Latent Skills. This card I can see possibly be brought down to a 3 of if you want to slim down the deck a little bit. I love it at a 4. It should stay at a 4. It is a 2-play, 2 high, 5 check, which reads enhance, flip, discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. There have been a few games where I've had 2 or 3 of these on the board. I've only probably been able to find 1 or 2 attacks in my hand. I'm not able to string along enough attacks. Flip this card, discard 2, draw 2, flip this card, discard 2, draw 2, and you're able to find those attacks that you need to be able to finish the opponent. So this out of 4 of is just fantastic. Next, we have 3 Specialists of Sound. I absolutely love this card. I would love to have this card at a 4 of, but I think it's completely fine at a 3 of. It just sits so well being at a 3 of. But there is scenarios where if you feel like you are coming up against a lot of speed hate decks, you might be able to maybe get rid of a latent skill and switch it out with a Specialist of Sound, or be able to switch it up with something else. But this card is it just fits and sits really well at a 3 of. So response after you check this card, you may reveal the top card of your deck, and then response commit. After an attack is played, it gets -3 speed. It's a great defensive card, being able to just -3 for speed as on the response step to an attack you might not be able to block perfectly, or you're worried about your checks. You just commit the Specialist Sound -3 speed straight away. Also, if you do check this attack after you play, if you check this foundation after you play an attack, you reveal the top card of your deck, and then you're able to math out what you want to play next a lot better. Next, we have 2 Shock Treatment. It's a 2-play, 2 mid-block, 5 check. It is a unique, so you can only have 1 of these on the field at any given time for yourself. Enhance your attack, discard 1 momentum, your rival commits 1 foundation, and then enhance, destroy, commit 1 rival foundation. If you're not able to see your if you're not able to see your stun cards enough on an attack string, you can always just discard a momentum to commit a foundation, and then destroy this to commit. So this will net you 2 committed foundations to be able to swing in harder with the $1.3 million volts, 1.3 million volts, or a massive stun grenade to end the attack. So that at a 2 of just fits so well. Then you have 2 First Day Class. This card is nice. It is nice. It's a 2-play, 3 low block for 5 check. Response flip after this card is committed during the enhance step. Ready it, playable while committed, and then its enhance is commit. This is the first attack this turn. Your next check to play an attack gets +2. So the best thing about this card is start off with a ricochet charge. You play the ricochet charge. You enhance, commit this to give you your next attack +2 check. Response, flip, ready it. So now you've made your check to play 2 less, as well as essentially just netted back that resource that you've played. Just do remember that this is enhanced if it is the first attack this turn. You can only use that enhance at that time. The next one is 2 first impressions. It is a 2-play, 3 low block for 5. First enhance flip. If this is your first attack this combat phase, it gets +3 damage. If it's not blocked, your next attack gets +3 speed. So on those turns when we're not playing ricochet charge, and we might be starting off with like a 0 gravity lift as our first attack, flipping this to give it +3 damage is amazing. Now it's a 3 high for 9 damage on its own. Your opponent will most likely block that, so your next thing will get +3 speed, which is just amazing. What's really good as well is play 0 gravity lift. You flip first impressions, you give +3 damage. If it's blocked, the next thing gets +3 speed. Then you flip first day of class. If it's your first attack, your next check gets +2. You enhance, flip, commit, respond. Then your pillar swing is now coming in for a 4 check. If you've discarded it with Araka, the 0 gravity lift from before, so pillar swing is now coming in for a 4 check, stun 2, 6 speed for 8 damage, which is just absolutely nuts. So first impressions is a 2 of. Then we have on our 1-ofs, we have 4 destined for mainstream success. I feel like if you're playing air or good, you are running destined for mainstream success. It is just such an amazing 1 play, 2 mid block for 5, enhance, flip, name a card, type, reveal the card of your deck. If it matches the name type, add it to your hand. You are pretty much always going to be naming attack off this card. So you flip, name attack, you're netting an attack into your hand. If not, it's a foundation. Fantastic. Now you know how to plan out what you need to keep up for your block. So this at a 4 off is just amazing. Feeling cute at a 4 of. Again, really, really nice. It's a 1 to play. 2 high for 5. Enhance, destroy 1 foundation. Your attack gets +1 speed. This card is just amazing to be able to get us out of deadlock if we need to, or if we ever find ourselves in deadlock, and also giving us the chance to be able to make something a little bit more faster to have your opponent to deal with a little bit more harder. Now this card, 4 small and limber. So 1 to play, 2 midlock for a 4 check, enhance, commit your charge, fury, or kick attack, gets +1 speed, +1 damage, and then response once per turn after a card leaves your stage during your combat phase. Ready this foundation playable while committed. So all our attacks say stun or fury on them. We do not run any kicks, which is okay. So what you can do is if you have 4 of these out on the field and you have a feeling cute out on the field, you can commit 1 +1 commit the other. So you commit 4 of them to give it +4 throughout the turn. You then feeling cute destroy your face down card to give it a speed response. A card has left my stage. I then re-ready my small and limbers, which just feels amazing to do every single time. So now you're given it +5 speed, +4 damage on either of your charged or fury. And if it's the first time you've done it at that stage and you've got another one in your hand, you can then commit all 4 again to be able to do it again and to give it feeling cute again. You won't be able to respond it because it is once per turn, but you've essentially given the first thing +5 speed, +4 damage, and now the second thing +5 speed, +4 damage. Now, we run 2 of Let's Fight Bad Guys. We only have 2 attacks in this deck, which are Furies, which is the 4 stun grenades and the 3 airstream drivers. I can see people cutting these for maybe a 4 specialist of sound and maybe a second first impressions. But in saying that, this card is just nice to have on the field, especially on the turns when you are coming in for a massive stun grenade. You just flip this, just give that extra 2 speed just on top of things, just to be able to make sure you get over the opponent's block. Now, over to the zeros. If you're running an air deck, you are mostly going to be running 4 requesting assistance. This card is just amazing. It's a 0-2 mid block for 5. Enhance flip if you have 1 or more momentum. Ready 1 foundation that has not been readied this combat phase. Just a fantastic way to just be able to re-ready foundations in your field that you want to see more of. And that's at a 4 of. We are running 2 release on a 0, 2 high for 4. Enhance, destroy 1 foundation. Your check to block this attack gets +2. Always a nice little bit of defense. The amazing thing is you can always play this on offense as well. If you need to be able to find another way to ready your smaller nimbers, just do keep that in mind. But this is a very good defensive card. At a 2 of is completely fine. We aren't blocking a lot in this deck, so at a 2 of is fine. And to wrap out the foundations at a 0 cost, we have 4 basic training. Now this card is amazing, guys. It is very, very good. It's a 0 play, 2 mid block for 5. Response once per turn. After you play an attack, it gets +1 damage. Deadlock response. After an attack is played, it gets +1 speed. Playable while committed. This thing's really good to be able to just chuck it on a 0 gravity lift on at the, as a second or third attack in a string, or be able to go over the top on your opponent to kill them with the throw damage, or starting off by giving putting 2 on the first gravity lift you play on the turn, be able to string out a little bit, play your stun grenade or play your 1.3 million volts, and then being able to respond, giving those 2 the damage as well, which is really, really nice. So that wraps up our foundations. So we're on 21 attacks and 39 foundations. We are running some actions in this deck. So the first action we play is 4 ready, set, go. If you're an aggro deck and you play these symbols, you're most likely playing ready, set, go on the deck. It's a 4 of. It's a 4 to play, 1 high block for a 5 check. Form, remove, draw 1 card. Response. After your rival plays their 4th foundation this turn, build up to 2 foundations from your hand. Amazing going second. You net 2 foundations on your opponent's first turn and just be able to ramp you up as fast as you possibly can throughout the game, just to be able to string a lot harder. Now, I do have a sideboard that consists of 2+ Ultra, 1 capabilities. The good thing about this deck is and 4 airstream driver. If my opponent chooses to go second, I will be taking out the 4 ready, set, go, and I'll be adding in the 2+ Ultra, the capabilities, and the 4th copy of airstream driver, just to be a little bit more aggressive on that turn. I like. I mean, plus ultra is a no brainer in this deck. We are enhance, commit, discard one momentum. Your Fury Tank gets +2 speed and +5 damage. If we're finding it out that we don't have, we just need that little bit over to get off the edge on a kill turn on stun grenade, or if our kill turn is including airstream driver at the cost of 1 momentum. This is a great card just to add that extra benefit on top of those 2 cards, as well as just a 4th copy of airstream driver if you feel like you do need to be that little bit more aggressive. Then on the defensive side, we have 2 Walkling, which is just pretty much any throw heavy deck or anything big that we probably don't want to be able to get through. We will be starting these in. We will be starting in 2 encouraging. 2 training with Gunhead again for those throw decks that are out there, and then we also run 2 encouraging training partner, just to be able to control any of those massive speed decks out there, Eater or All Might 1. Just be able to have another thing to change it back to 4 on the speed, just to be able to have that block value be a little bit nicer. So there we have it, guys. That is my undefeated Ochaco 1 on air deck build. If you have any questions about this deck, or anything you aren't able to get your hands on and you want to switch out, chuck it in the comments. I will reply when I can and give you any helps and tips along the way. Hopefully you guys can build this deck, take it to your locals. It is a very, very fun, rewarding deck. A lot of the time, the opponent doesn't expect the damage to be able to come out in some of these attack strings, so it is very, very nice. But take it to your locals, see how you go, and keep me posted in the comments. I would love to know. Have a great one. See you guys.